So in New Jersey, spousal support and maintenance is also called alimony. Alimony is typically awarded to one party by another when the court determines that it's needed for that other party to enjoy a similar quality of life as to when the parties were married. There are several different types of alimony that a court might award, and it really just depends on the specific facts and circumstances of that former couple. In New Jersey, while your divorce is pending, you might qualify for what's called pendente lite, or interim support. So that's support that a court will award based on a party's needs at the moment, and it is a temporary basis, meaning that it can be modified into a permanent alimony type later on, but it's essentially to cover emergent needs, such as, for example, help with rent, help with groceries. New Jersey, there's also different types of alimony that can be entered in a divorce decree that will last for different terms. There's limited durational alimony, and that's typically appropriate when you are married for a shorter period of time. There's open durational, which used to be kind of called permanent alimony, and that's typically for when parties are married over 20 years. And it can end at a certain period of time, or it can just remain until further order of the court. Those types of alimonies are determined based on certain factors. The court will consider what's equitable and just in awarding that. So they'll take into account respective earning capacities of each party, whether the party worked or not during the marriage, whether that party brought in separate property to the marriage and that property is being enjoyed by the other spouse, whether that person had to forego that kind of educational or career opportunities to be able to focus on dealing with the kids, whether or not, for example, one party paid for another party's schooling. There's just a variety of different factors, statutory factors that the court uses, and each will be applied to your case based on the particular facts and circumstances. Modifications in alimony are pretty common, and they can be based on a variety of factors, and either party can request them. For example, you're required to be paying alimony, but certain things happen. For example, changes in job, changes in income, or maybe you discover that your spouse or your ex-spouse has recently started cohabitating with another or plans to remarry another. You should then inform the court, listen, my spouse is now essentially in a marriage-like relationship or is about to be married to another person. That will get you off the hook. You shouldn't have to continue paying alimony to someone who's being financially supported, at least in part, by another person. Or, for example, something major happens with your children that is preventing you from being able to work, and you need additional financial support because of that. You can either ask for a modification in child support, or you can ask for a modification in alimony to help you. For example, let's say you discover that your spouse has received a major promotion at work and is now making $100,000 to $200,000 more. And for example, you're in that situation, maybe your needs have diminished, your financial resources have diminished. The courts are determined to see what's fair, and any factors in change in income or employment or expenses could trigger a successful request for modification. So in New Jersey, whether or not you will be awarded alimony is really a fact-sensitive question. The courts typically will only award alimony if there is a significant difference in incomes. It's specifically common in cases where one party did not work because they were focused on raising the children. Or if, for example, there's some kind of disability that prevents the spouse from being able to work. The court's concerned with what's fair and just. It's unfair for one party to essentially have to start from zero because they spent the last 10 to 15 years raising children. The courts are sensitive to this issue, so in these situations, you will likely get alimony. Courts tend to award between 25 to 30% of the difference in income between the spouses as an alimony payment. Contact us so we'll be able to help you get that if you qualify for it.